What's going on, guys? So this is my out of the theater review for Fantastic Four: First Steps. So just to give a bit of background going in, I didn't know what to expect. I had low expectations, mainly because I've just been so down on Marvel lately. All of their recent things, pretty much since Endgame, have just not really hit the mark for me. And going into this one, talking about the big three of this July, the summer blockbuster season with Jurassic World, Superman, Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is kind of the bottom of those three in terms of my excitement level. But now that I've seen all three, this is the best movie of the three not gonna say by far, but by a fair bit. I mean, this Fantastic Four, and this has been said a million times about a bunch of Marvel films since Endgame, saying, "Oh, this is the best one since Endgame. Oh, we're so back." All of that. No, none. It didn't apply to those films. This one, I'm not going to say Marvel is back. Like, they're going to need to do a lot more work to make it to be back. But this is the best film that they've produced since Endgame. It's the most coherent, and this is the key thing I was looking for. Just a kind of straightforward story doesn't get too convoluted, isn't too messy, doesn't try to do too many things or juggle way too many characters. It has four main characters, and it's just really focused on them the whole time, and that's what it's really all about. And so I was just loving the fact that they focused in on the family and the family aspect of the Fantastic Four and all of that. It was just so refreshing to see a film that's like just focused. Like, everything gets so convoluted and messy these days, and this film was way more focused, and the characters have great chemistry together. Love the whole retro futuristic setting of this alternate universe, this alternate New York City. It looked fantastic. Everything looked great. The CGI was really good to okay at times, but for the most part, it's been better than most Marvel things of late. I'm not going to spoil anything in this review here, but it's very much focused on the baby seen in the trailer, Sue Storm and Reed Richards having a baby, and this baby is kind of the key to everything in this film. The big bad Galactus wants something with this baby, and this is very much a film about family, and at a more kind of core personal level, it's a film about parents and the parents' love for a child. And maybe this film came out at kind of the perfect time for me, being a relatively new dad, and just it hit at certain moments really like harder than I was expecting, with just this, like, knowing what it feels like to the unlimited love you have for your child and what you would do to them, go to the ends of the earth for them. And this film just really captured that, and a lot of the emotions I've felt in my personal life in this past year, it really did capture that. I was quite surprised, and the ending to this film was quite emotional, and I was really surprised and really taken aback by that, but pleased to say. And that's why I'm just kind of trying to separate from myself a bit now that I'm reviewing it, as to like the actual quality of the film, rather than just hitting these kind of emotional notes that speak to me personally. But I'm like thinking, okay, if you're not someone who has kids or understand what it's like to have your own baby to look after, will it resonate the same with you? I think it will. I think it's done really well enough to do so. But definitely hit those right notes for me. Main talking points, concerns going into it. Pedro Pascal playing Reed Richards. He's everywhere these days. People are sick of him. What did I think of him in this role? I thought he was good. I don't know. I'm not like a comic book expert. I don't know anything about the Fantastic Four from the comics, what they're like, but I thought he was really great as Reed Richards. We would have liked to see more of him as Mr. Fantastic, with the stretchy arm abilities and all that stuff. But we really got to see him working and frustrated throughout this film, trying to solve problem after problem, and doing it for the planet, and doing it for his wife, and doing it for his son. Beautiful stuff. I thought he was quite good in the role. I'm happy with them. Vanessa Kirby was great as Sue Storm. Johnny Storm, played by Joseph Quinn, he was good too. The guy who plays the Thing, he was great as well. Ben Grimm. They all worked. They had great chemistry from the start of this film. It kind of rushes you into the beginning to give you a quick origin story, recap of where they are, where they came from, how they got started, and then it just launches straight into the story pretty much once you get the female Silver Surfer come to Earth, and kind of who tells them that Galactus was coming to destroy them. But look, and speaking of the female Silver Surfer, probably the issue I have with the film is that it's unnecessary to have the female version. I understand she's only in a few panels of comics here and there. Like, why didn't they just go for the original Silver Surfer, Norrin Radd? I don't know why. Like, her being female doesn't mean anything to this. They could have made it mean more, by having kind of a bit more of a tie between her and Sue Storm and kind of make a parallel, but they didn't really go there. And so that's probably one downside to the film, I would say. I won't say in what way, but they could have lined them up a bit more to kind of have a more setup, payoff, like order of events for her character. But ultimately she didn't bother me much. Just kind of why, I don't understand why it's like making a decision that's just going to piss off a lot of comic book fans and unnecessarily. Like, it didn't serve any great purpose, her being female. But again, whatever, she's just there as kind of a plot device kind of character, and she's nothing special here or there, but she's fine. Action sequences, it's not a whole lot of action in this film actually, but I didn't really have a problem with that because I was resonating with them on the character level and just seeing how they're trying to solve problem after problem and their interactions. But ultimately, the end battle is kind of cool with Galactus. It did feel a little anticlimactic in terms of the scale and scope because he's coming to the city and that, but I won't spoil it. It's just just the way that the city is set up doesn't really, kind of removes a lot of those stakes from it. But other than that, yeah, look, I was really pleased. I'm pleasantly surprised. And right now I'm thinking this is somewhere like a 7.5 or maybe even an 8, dare say. For me, an 8 is when something gets into that 8 out of 10 territory, it's crossing the line into really good or to great. And I think it's somewhere there. It might not be great, but it's like I'm getting there in terms of 7.5, definitely as the minimum, maybe somewhere towards 8. But I'll have to think about that once I do my full spoiler review. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. And I definitely recommend this film at this stage. It's a breath of fresh air for Marvel. It's the film they needed, especially now going into a new Avengers film, Doomsday, next year. This one is going to be crucial to it. I won't say why, but there's a post-credit scene which will tie into that. But yeah, they needed this one to land, and I think it has definitely landed, and is a very coherent film. And the reason I want to say that is because this is what Superman lacked. This is coherent. Superman was not. It was a convoluted mess. Whereas this, even though it was entertaining, and I said that, this was entertaining whilst also being just focused. And I like that. I want to see films kind of return to that kind of getting the basics right before trying to expand into too much complex storytelling. But this one just gets the basics right, and I appreciated that. So I'm not going to get into too many spoilers here, but they'll just leave it at that for now and give you my full spoiler review, hopefully a few days from now. But yeah, Fantastic Four First Steps, really good, thumbs up from me. And yeah, I encourage you all to go see it. But thanks for watching this video, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you've had a chance to check out this film, what did you think of it? And we'll talk to you next time. Bye.